It's a Saturday afternoon. I'm walking this pathway called the Atlanta Beltline, and it's pretty nice. There's plenty of people out and about walking this too. I guess some of them are shopping, some of them are exercising. The sheer amount of people is it's nice to see. This is kind of like the level I want to have, where it's just, I don't like it when it's too rural of a city and there's like barely anyone. Sure, that's good for like a pandemic or something, but I like stuff to do.
Hi, I'm Will. I spent my 20s living in a boring area with not much to do, and so I decided to pack up and travel the world through Airbnbs while working a remote job. I was willing to do whatever it took to live a more fulfilling and enriching life. Join me on my adventure, turmoils, trials, and tribulations.
It's also spacious and it's not like overly crowded. Like New York can be a little bit cramped, but just look how wide the path is here. There's enough space to walk. It's scenic. Finding parking was a bit of a chore, but other than that, it's been pretty good. Hey, I'm in Atlanta. I'm walking what I believe is called the Beltline. Seems to be this open trail with tons of people walking, jogging, biking, scootering, skateboarding across. It's quite populated. It kind of reminds me of the High Line in New York, but much more space to walk and much more conducive to various fields of traffic. I am enjoying this. It's not too hot yet in Atlanta. It's just nice to have a nice peaceful walk here, and we'll just continue. It's interesting also to see the diversity here. A few of the places I've been before, as I mentioned, it's like I'm the only Asian here, but this time it's like there's tons of people with different diversities: Asian, Hispanic, white, and so forth. So I'm pretty much enjoying it. So I'm here in Piedmont Park in Atlanta. It's one of the big parks in this area. This place definitely reminds me of Central Park, New York. It's in some ways just as crowded, but you can also get lost in it. It's a very large park, and so I've been walking around for a while and kept going north until I realized that's just too far, so I'm headed back. After walking around the park for a while, I decided to rent a bike to just bike the park since my legs were hurting. And so I did do just that, and it was peaceful and nice. But honestly, I let my own head get to me. I saw a lot of pretty girls with other people, and I started feeling down, like, how could I get that? So unfortunately, that affected my mood, but I shouldn't have let it. It was a beautiful day. I'm currently in a market, a shopping center. I think it's called Pont City, but there's a good amount of shopping mall type restaurants here and brands. There's a Lululemon, Anthropology, and yeah, parking costs money here, so you could tell this is definitely more so in the city. So here it is, and the one thing I want to say is that while some of my adventures do look glamorous, it is a slice and highlight of my day, and sometimes I don't feel so good, and I try and express that as much as possible. But even today, I think I wasn't feeling that great. I still don't, because I guess I was assessing whether this was the city for me, and I realized that every city I've been to, I had things I didn't like about it, and I wonder if I was being too picky, and so on and so forth. Because like this one, the traffic is terrible, And then like I find that if you're in a major city, you generally have to pay for parking. The place I was before, I found free parking, but that's not always a guarantee. So I just kind of felt like, yeah, like, is there really anything perfect, or not perfect, but good enough? And I think there is, but everything comes with downsides. And for this, I'm staying pretty far south of the city, and then I'd have to like the traffic's terrible sometimes. You have to drive 30, 40, sometimes 50 minutes to get somewhere. So here it is, Ponce City Market. And can't say I'm feeling happy to be here. I feel grateful to be here, but definitely there's some negativity inside. And yeah, I think some of it just comes from just being okay with how things are. And yeah, I think part of it, I feel icky inside as well, because I just feel like, it's tough being here as well. It's a new place, but new challenges arise, and yeah, I find that it's tough to meet people, even here in Atlanta. I I checked out Meetup.com, and there really isn't much going on today of interest other than the anime meetup, and there's only going to be like several people that show up, and uh, yeah, it's not ideal for meeting women, but it's one of the only events, so I felt a little icky about that. Uh, but it is what it is. There are people here. I do feel better about this place than other places, in the sense that I see people. I see them all out and about. So there's definitely a different energy in the air here. I was also frustrated because I think there's bad dating advice, and they just think, oh, what works for me will work for you. And the thing is, they'd say, oh, just go to a meetup, but then like barely anyone shows up to meetups. And then if you go to this here, like, yeah, you go to a bar and club, it works for you, but I'm very uncomfortable in those situations, and women can be very cold and mean in those situations.